The federal government is on the verge of closing a 10-year negotiation to export live cattle to China. It could see in just a few years 1 million cattle exported, doubling Australia's total live cattle export market. The negotiations cover establishing health and certification protocols to permit imports of Australian cattle into China. I spoke to the Agriculture Minister, Barnaby Joyce, a little earlier today. Barnaby Joyce, welcome to Capitol Hill.
Thanks, Lyndal. Thanks for having me on your show.
If I could just get a couple of details on this live cattle deal with China. This is not, as I understand it, part of the free trade agreement that's also being negotiated? That's correct.
This is part of protocols that we've been negotiating for quite a while. In fact, it's been happening over the last 10 years. But you've got to land this plane in the fog, and you've got to ultimately get the thing settled, because we want to make sure, Lyndal, that we get a better return through the farm gate for Australian farming families. We want to make sure that we get dignity back into their lives, give them the opportunity to renovate their kitchens, buy their new cars, get more money for the great endeavours that they put into their work. And the only way we do that is by expanding markets and getting more competition on the buying side of the equation. And if we can get this deal landed, and it's not completely landed yet, that lies in the laps of the Chinese. It's their right to put it on their website and said it's all a go, but we believe that it is imminent. Then this gives the capacity over the longer term for the movement of up to 1 million head of cattle a year. It'd start low, probably 40,000 head a year. This will put real upward pressure on cattle prices. My target, Lyndal, since having this job, is to get the price of beef over $3 live in the sale yards. So I can say to the fellas on the rail, you better sharpen your pencils if you want to buy cattle today. And we're getting there, Lyndal. We're getting there piece by piece by piece.
When you say it's imminent, can I get some indication of what you would like or hope to be the time frame? Are we talking in the next few days or weeks?
Well, I'm hoping imminent being within a time frame of days or weeks. You know, I look forward to that we've done our part. It's not as easy as people think to land these deals.
So what exactly is this deal about? It's not part of the free trade agreement. It's been negotiated for 10 years. What exactly is the deal on?
Well, Lyndal, it's just the same sort of deal that we did to get the Egyptian market open. It's the same sort of deal we did to get the Iranian market open after 4 decades. Same sort of deal we did to get the Bahraini market open. Same sort of deal we did to get the Cambodian market opened. And now we're getting the Chinese market opened, and we're doing it with an SCAS system.
So that's the quality assurance system to make sure animals are treated humanely?
That's correct. A system that I might remind all listeners that no other nation on the world that exports, and there are a lot of them that export in live cattle, has. We're the only nation. Australia leads the way with an SCAS system. It's the only animal protection mechanism that is given to the live cattle trade. No other nation provides this, yet they do export cattle.
You say the numbers would start relatively small. Over how many years would it take to build up to 1 million cattle?
Well, the good thing, Lyndal, is that we'd be scratching ourselves to try and find 1 million cattle. And the good thing about this is we have to get the price signals out there so the farmers go in and restock. So people say, by gosh, I can take that spare paddock now and put a few head on it and start being part of this largesse. That people can say, well, I really now know where I'm aiming towards, and I have to get these numbers up. And we can do it, Lyndal. I was up in the Gulf yesterday as part of the Dams Committee and looking at one of the large cattle producers up there, and said with the right conditions and the right motivation by government, he can move from producing 150,000 kilograms of beef per year off his place to 4 million kilograms of beef per year off his place. And that goes to show that we have the capacity to expand production.
So over what sort of period are we talking about?
Well, I imagine, Lyndal, it'll happen over years, but that's 2 to 3 years. But it's really up to the marketplace. It's the signals will go in there. I've always targeted beef to go over $3 a kilogram live in the yards. It's been, and I started around about $1.50, so we're going all right for a year. And this is once people see those signals, then just like you, Lyndal, you say, righty, I'll go buy myself a few cows and borrow the neighbour's bull and we'll start producing cattle.
And finally, just drawing on your expertise from your years in the Senate, Jackie Lambie has said she will not be voting for government legislation until the government increases the pay deal with the Defence Force. Should you increase the pay deal with the Defence Force, and how difficult will it make it to get legislation through if she does not vote for any of your bills?
Well, I always thought that this was a Greek tragedy which was going to come to a horrible end, but now it's the Palmer Not So United Party. And, Senator Lambie has the right to do what Senator Lambie believes is right. These pay deals are not negotiated by the government. They're generally by an independent authority. We wish that we were in a stronger financial position, and this is part and parcel of trying to get the live cattle game going. We wished there was more money flowing into our nation and we could rebalance the books from the appalling state that they were left in by the previous government.
It will make it more difficult to get through legislation in what is already a complex Senate for you, won't it?
I was a senator for 8 years, 1 month and 7 days, and it is always complicated. You've got to remember that what Senator Lambie might say on television, other people have the same concerns, but they keep it to themselves and they keep the discipline of their party room together. I know that in the National Party we have discussions where there's concerns. I know that Liberal Party senators do as well. It's not unusual for parties to have discussions, but the best thing is to try as much as possible to keep it out of national television. Once you start telling national television that you're not happy with your leader, it's like a partner in a marriage saying, look, I don't want you don't have to take this seriously, but I'm just not really keen on my spouse anymore, but don't read too much into that. Well, the fact that you said it on television means that we read an awful lot into it.
Barnaby Joyce, thank you very much for your time.
Good on you.